figured out that I have to do the Instagram live after I go live on. Here we go, and we're live, and it's allowing me to go live on Instagram, which is fantastic. I've learned how to figure that out like quickly. Yay, technology, burning and burning.
Well,
Here we go.
hello, followers. Welcome to Free Coaching Fun Day Friday. That happens almost every
Every
Friday.
Friday. Yes. You know what? That's true. We've been really consistent about this. We started doing this last August, July, something like August or something. And we've been pretty good. We're like, no, we're just going to do this every Friday. And we have there's something. Our weeks, you guys, if you're tuning in, first off, if you're tuning in, let us know if you're here often and you come and you see us and you follow us, just drop a comment and just let us know that you're here so we can acknowledge you and celebrate you and go, oh, Susie's here, so happy. And if this is your first time here, introduce yourself, let us know who you are because we'd like to get to know you. And that said, we've been doing these for a hot minute and being really consistent about it. And I've been having a blast. Sometimes Daniela can't make it and sometimes I can't make it. But the times that we're out with the horses, we always have a great time. And speaking of not being able to make it, I won't be here in Florida for the Fun Coaching Friday on June 7th because, drumroll please, I'm going to be in New York, live in New York. Right. It's
It's Free Coaching Friday.
Oh my God. So yes, on the weekend of June 7th, 8th, and 9th, I'm actually going to be up at Artemis Hill at Daniela's fantastic, gorgeous place. If you've ever been if you follow Artemis Hill or follow Daniela, you'll see the photographs of her view of this beautiful, lush setting and their gorgeous pool. You just opened your pool, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting, and 2 new horses and a great new program that we're beta testing on January. What is January? I would never be in New York in January. So
well, maybe you want to. Your subconscious is like, January. Maybe you need to cool your jets. Maybe that's why.
That's what it is. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But no, I will be there the second weekend in June. And we're going to be doing something around the 4 agreements. So if you've read that book, raise your hand and celebrate because that book has been phenomenal. And we're actually diving into a lot of how different books and I think you're doing it as a book series, how understanding what some of the things these books have to teach us that actually also show up in what we're teaching and learning and growing with through the horses. And if you guys have done, there's actually a 5th agreement too. It's called Be Skeptical, but Listen. You guys, drop us a little heart or a little emoji. Just drop a comment if you've read the 4 agreements, what experiences have you've had with that book. Because what we're going to be doing is pretty exciting because, and Daniela and I've kind of been toying with different ideas. So Daniela, tell us about what you have in store for me when I come up. I'm super excited to be there.
Are you asking me to give all my secrets away?
Just a little.
So for this event, we're going to do a lot of observing the horses, which is very, very important, not just for certain aspects of these 4 agreements from the book that we're talking about, but just to help understand the herd mentality and really understand what the horses are saying to each other, what conversations they're having. One thing that I always find so curious and kind of interesting is that even when I have people here and sometimes we're observing and people tend to, a lot of times they get excited, right? And they want to talk about the horses and it's and sometimes I have to be like, okay, well, do you see what's happening right now though? Because they're having a conversation right now. It's happening right now in real time. Real time, this is happening.
And that's the beautiful thing, the real time. Yeah.
And sometimes it's if you're not paying close enough attention, it could be the equivalent of getting into a car accident and being like, where did that car just come from? Well, if you're cognizant of really paying close attention to not just you, but what's happening around you. And when you're with horses, that's kind of like a given. If you're not 110% present and really watching and observing and listening, you could find yourself in a sticky situation, or you could just be completely oblivious to what's going on and you completely miss it. You
And you
just
might miss
won't
something
even miss it.
amazing. Oh my, you absolutely will miss something amazing. And in the horsemanship, we say ride every stride. You know, I've started actually implementing like more horsemanship retreats into my curriculum, into my programs. And riding every stride is so important. And being, and being aware and being independent, impeccable with your hands, impeccable with your feet. And if you do ride, impeccable with your seat, being impeccable with how you communicate to these animals is so important. And the way that they communicate is nonverbal mostly. Like most horses don't, we talk about being impeccable with your word. Horses don't, you hear it on the shows all the time. They're always whinnying and shuffling and paw on the ground and dust. I'm like, dude, horses are not that active. Like, they really don't. You ever drive by a field and they're out running, stop and watch, because that doesn't happen all the time. All this
Mhm.
stuff you see on TV is just bullshit. They're really just having these very theta brainwave state sort of chill conversations. And if you're up here being all fizzy and excited and, oh, isn't the brown one cute? You're going to miss a lot of and I even said it in my TED talk, when the waters, when the still waters run deep, that's when you really get the message. And I would even say, don't just be impeccable with your word, be impeccable with your ears and
Well,
listen.
everything. Being impeccable with everything is like your words, your actions, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, believing what you say, and actually, you know, having the integrity to stand behind it.
Well, and I think too is something is and we've been talking about this recently quite a bit, like reading the room. When you go in and you like read the room and do your best. Don't necessarily change who you are, but Ricky Gervais did a really funny thing where he's talking about how when you're around construction workers, you talk a different way, and he makes a little spoof about it where he's like, he's carrying a book of poems and, his scoff and everything. And he's like, but when he gets around, when he gets around the construction workers, like, hey, yo, they made, you shift a little. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with adapting to your environment while maintaining who you are and I think that it takes into being impeccable with your word. And we could dive into each one of these agreements in a very deep way. We could probably do a free coaching Friday over each one for 5 weeks, because there's
Mhm.
actually 5 agreements. But to just kind of touch base on it, on June 8th. So let me put the event in the chat. So if you're up in the New York area, Danielle, you know where you are better than I do. Tell people where you are.
I'm in Chester, New York. It is the Hudson Valley area of New York, close to Warwick, New York, close to, if you're starting to head up to the Catskills, New York, kind of in that direction. And yeah, so I'm here. It's actually the best time of year
Oh my
to be
God.
here.
The farmers markets. Oh my God. I lived with Daniela for a few months back in 2021, and I was so worried because there was no Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or some bougie place where I could get organic dragon fruit. So, but I was like, well, what about? I wonder if there's any farmers markets. There's like the Florida farmers market's super good every Tuesday, and the Goshen farmers market's good every Friday. Oh my God, remember going to the Goshen farmers
Oh
market?
my gosh,
No,
what a
it's so much
debacle that was every time.
that to me, going to a farmer's market like that is more fun than like a music festival, because I love it. I'm like, whoa, look at like 17 different kind of radishes, and I geek out on the produce. I'm like so excited, and I was like,
This
well,
is where you and I differ very much. I do not get excited to go to farmers markets. The funny part about this is that I had
because
been
you like to
living
have
here.
service.
I had been living here for maybe a year when you came to visit that summer. And Jen was finding out more about this area than I had any clue. She was like, "Do you know there's all these farmers markets?" I was like, "No." "Do you know there's this place down the street?" "No." "Do you know this?" No. I was like, Who lives here, me or you? Because damn, girl,
What's
talk
the
about
irony of me going, you know the area better. Tell people where you are. And I'm
I
like,
know.
I know exactly. We're all the little nooks and
You
haunts, and
really do.
we're the little witch's hat brew places, and you're right, you're right. And I had so much fun with that. But yeah, so coming up, it's the best time of year to be, coming into spring. The rains are there, the grass is lush, and the horses are, got their nice little fat springtime grass bellies. And it's an amazing time of year to be there. So I'll be up June 8th for the event, but I'll be up over the weekends. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff with the horses. We're going to be doing some straight up horsemanship. We're going to be doing some private sessions if you're interested in just coming out, if you're out if you're in the area. And then definitely, the events in the link, or the links for the event in the comments, and definitely come and check that out, because we're going to be going through the agreements. We just touched on be impeccable with your word and how easy that is to relate that to all the horses. But I'm going to give you two more little tidbits, and both of us have a prior engagement, so we got to hop off here pretty quick, guys. But I'm going to give you two things. You guys ready? Number one, that all of the agreements and adapt to the horses in such a way, it keeps blowing my mind. I mean, like, oh my God, that applies to Bella. Oh my God, that applies to Dante. Number two, one agreement will resonate with one of the personas more than the other. One from the challenging perspective, and one from the this is my champion, this is my forte perspective. So Bella is a perfect example. Being impeccable with her word may be her challenge, but not taking things personally is her strength. So it's really interesting to see how those things play out. And I may not have hers exactly right, but that's why this is the beta. And you guys are going to, if you do come, get to experience this for the first time. This will be the first one that we're doing of anything like this. And we might create a series out of it. All I know is that we've been talking about it for a while, and we're very, very, very excited to be presenting something really groundbreaking and really unique, and categorically and aligned with what Daniela is doing with Artemis Hill and what I'm doing down here in Florida with Xenogen. So there's more to come after this event on June 8th, but definitely come up and check us out. Hudson Valley area. She's in Chester, New York. The link for the event is in the comments. And of course, we'll be posting about it on both of our social medias over the next few weeks. Feel free to reach out to us if you want. This is more of a kind of a very exciting new event, sort of promo, sort of live this week. But I definitely, the other three agreements are be impeccable with your word. Don't make, and I say, or teach assumptions. And that ties into boundaries, you guys. That ties into your tolerance for pain and boundaries. When you teach someone else an assumption, it is because you are undermining your own worth. More on that day. So don't make or teach assumptions, and always do your best, and don't take things personally. Even if someone is pointing their finger at you, saying it is about you, and they are telling you I hope you're taking this personally. Don't, and we'll show you why and how to do it. If you are taking things personally, if you want to elevate what you've learned from this book in a very unique and profound way, definitely come and check us out on June 8th.
And if you have not read the book, this is your invitation to buy it. Whether or not you come to the event, it is a life-changing book. If and when you can incorporate these agreements with yourself, by the way, these are agreements that you are to be making with yourself, and you can implement them into your everyday life. I'm telling you, life-changing. So this is your invitation. If you don't know the book, it's called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Get it now if you don't already have it. If you've already read it, read it again. This is your chance to get a refresher, and then come hang out with us June 8th and see what we're doing, because you're going to have fun.
And trust me, we always over deliver. So you guys are going to have a great time. I already have some cool surprises I can't wait to share with everyone. And thanks for tuning in, you guys. Drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And remember to believe in yourself. It will change your life.
It will change your life.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great Friday.